Step right up, dummies, and listen to the stupidest sports show on earth with Rodney Newbold and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah.
Well, hello, dummies, and welcome to episode number 161 of the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth. My name, as you all know, is Tim the Dunking Dutchman Van Stratton, joined once again by Rodney Newbold. Rodney, how are you, man? How was St. Louis for you?
Well, the games didn't go well.
Yeah, I saw that.
Games didn't go well. The first one was an hour and 45-minute delay first, so that's never fun. Both days when we got there was like 115 heat index, so hot. Not great, but the trip was fun. Enjoyed it with my 15-year-old, and we had a good time, but not great. Best game of the series was yesterday, and a really good game again today, although the Cardinals came up on the wrong side, but it is tank season now for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm glad you had fun. I was going to ask you about that. Like, you paid American dollars for 2 games, to watch your team get their shit kicked in by their biggest rival.
Yeah.
Despite now sitting, what are they, game under 500?
Yep, again.
So game under 500. And honestly, amazing. This is like the first time all season that they've been under 500.
Yeah.
But yet, what are they? What are they currently sitting at the wild card?
Well, either be 3 or 3.5, depending on. There's so many teams that are there.
Like you said, the tank is on, but like, can you justify it? Can you justify going sell if you're only 3 games out of a playoff spot where you never know what can happen in 2 months? Like,
I mean, pretty much everybody in the league would have to buy at that point because all but basically the Reds, the Rockies, and the Giants would be pretty much eliminated in the National League. That's it.
Yeah. I think what makes the most sense, and we're not going to spend the whole time talking about the Cardinals here, but like what we talked about a little bit ago was that it makes a lot of sense for them to just sort of stay still, and only if someone's like, hey, we have this incredible offer for one of your players that they just like, it's too good to pass up. And they'll do that. Like, I don't expect them to be the ones making the calls. I think other people will be making the calls to them. And unless they're like blown away by an offer for like a Lars Nootbaar or whoever, like, they'll just say,
well, Dustin May is going to go. He's going to go here in the next couple of days. They've already called up Quinn Matthews for Saturday's game, which means they have a 40-man roster spot. We'll see what happens there. But I think he's going to go. I think a guy like Ryan Stanek might go as well. But anyways, we'll get to trade deadline a little bit later. I do have that in the show agenda. But here's the good news.
Yeah.
We're 41 days.
Training camp. Have you been enjoying the little training camp videos the way I have?
Well, I don't typically watch a lot of morning TV, but I had Get Up on this morning. You were watching Get Up, and Greenberg was going crazy over seeing Malik Neighbors in training camp. He looked good, apparently.
Rodney.
Better than the celebrity softball game a month ago, apparently.
Yeah. First of all, in hindsight, maybe we shouldn't be stunned that the athlete coming off an injury wasn't going full balls to the wall in a celebrity softball game.
It crossed my mind when Greenberg said it. But the best part about this was when they talked to Jackson Dart, and he's like, oh, yeah, it makes me excited. I don't know. It was funny to hear him. I'm excited.
No, what got me excited was yesterday, and I watched it was probably a 7-second video that I watched maybe 40 times of Malik Neighbors and Odell Beckham Jr.
Oh,
side
by side,
doing a little slant route together, catching the balls at the exact same time.
Yeah.
And just seeing the two of them in Giants uniforms next to each other at the same time. And honestly, identical route running. Now, I don't know if that means Malik is not 100% or if Odell at 33 coming off his injury is way better than people expect. But, like, just seeing the two of them together like that, it was like, oh, my God, I'm so in. I'm so in on all of it.
And then and then our favorite Cincinnati Bengals decided that, it's opening day. Let's fight. Let's fight.
Did they fight?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah, Jamar Chase was going at it with some defensive backs, and yeah, it was good. Apparently, Burrow liked it though. He said it's good. It's good to get it out of the way now. So day one training camp fight, Cincinnati Bengals.
Is it good to get it out of the way now? It's probably better to get it out of the way once the pads are on. No, you got a little extra safety. You want guys throwing punches with no pads, like no nothing. Like that seems like this is the worst time to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty soft. We'll call it a fight, but it was pretty soft. But there was some physicality to it. But maybe you do one early and then you do one late. You have your first like, hey, here we are, and then you have one right before the season where it's like, okay, now we're going to come together. But yeah, it was a training camp, and then here in the old DJ Moore, Josh Allen connection and how important that's going to be to the Bills' success. That had me going today. 41 days until the NFL.
Yeah. I like that they had Josh Allen go up there and defend the new awful gray jerseys that the Bills unveiled a couple days ago. He's like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. These jerseys are cool. Like,
yeah. He's like, we're new everything. We're just new. I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that. But anyways, 41 days, 6 weeks from yesterday. But the Hall of Fame game's a week from today.
Yeah, Hall of Fame game. Panthers, Cardinals.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
But that was like an NFC championship about a decade ago.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they had good teams that year, but that was about it. Haven't been good since. Panthers?
Yeah. I mean, Panthers are a division champion.
Yeah, you're right.
Who nearly pulled off an upset against the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah, I remember that. I was sweating a little early in that one. Arizona's got Marvarati Marv. We'll see what happens there in year 3.
Which I saw a compilation. I don't know if it was like from this training camp or not, because you just can't believe everything you read on the internet. But it was a compilation of just all of the passes that he was dropping.
Ooh, yeah, that's not great. But anyways, 41 days until the NFL. I do want to get to our sponsor. Thank you to Gateway Sports. I'll do a little live read here on Gateway Sports. If you love sports at every level, there's only one place you need to be. That's Gateway Sports. They cover it all from the preps to college and the pros. Real coverage, real voices, real passion for the game. From live shows to podcasts, Gateway Sports connect the region like nobody else. Proudly powered by First Form and Recalibrate. Visit gatewaysports.net. Every level, one Gateway. More simple and quick from Gateway Sports. Thanks to those guys. I'm sure they are getting ready for the National Football League. Although there's no St. Louis team, Chiefs fans and other teams for the region, they'll enjoy the National Football League just like the rest of us. Thank you, Gateway Sports. We appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, Rodney, you built the show today like you do pretty much every Thursday. So I'm going to let you drive it. Where do you want to start? On July 30th.
I mean, we kind of started with, we flirted with Cardinal talk. I don't want to spend the show talking Cardinals because we'll get to some of that in Major League Baseball. They might dive in here at some point. We spent a few minutes talking NFL training camp. We're actually going to get back to the training camp here after a bit, but I figured we could go with kind of first 2 weeks after the All-Star break, kind of some things that are happening. Obviously, my Cardinals have fallen back a little bit. Your Yankees have fallen back a little bit, back-to-back losses. On the other side, the Chicago White Sox picked up back-to-back extra inning wins, and they have a 2-game lead. The Seattle Mariners are only 2 games out in the American League West. The Houston Astros are only a half game out in the National League West. Let me bring up a couple more here, and then you can figure out what you want to discuss from there. The Philadelphia Phillies have lost 3 in a row and now are only 2 games ahead of the Miami Marlins for second place. The Marlins, who lost about a dozen straight. And the Diamondbacks have surged to wild card 2. And the Padres have won a whole bunch in a row as well. So, in the last 2 weeks of Major League Baseball, what has stuck out to you the most?
Oh, boy. Well, a couple things. Apparently the Houston Astros aren't dead.
Nope. No.
You and I both kind of were like, yeah, it's over for them. And even today, like, I think it was like Mark DeRosa on MLB Network is like, here are the trades that I would make to rebuild the Astros. And he's like got Yordan Alvarez getting traded and Pena getting traded. I was like, they're a half game out of first place.
Yeah, bad
they're
idea.
8-2 in their last 10. They're kind of turning things around quite a bit. And like the AL West really is like Texas, Houston, Seattle. Like Texas is in first right now. But I don't think there's been any point where I've been like, wow, the Rangers, they're a very impressive baseball team. They've just sort of been very mediocre throughout. And like you can tell, like they got a minus 22 run differential. The Astros were pretty bad up until, right after the All-Star break, and they're turning things around. And then the Mariners. So, Rodney, the Mariners are only 2 games out.
Right.
But they're still 3 games under 500.
Yes.
They're the team, by the way, that you and I both picked to win the American League and go to the World Series.
That's true. That's true. And we did as of 2 weeks ago.
Yes. Also happen to be the only team in the American League West that has a positive run differential.
But 3 games under 500. That's crazy.
But 3 games under 500, right. Like, can't really score runs. Got the pitching, but can't score runs at all. Like, they're maybe, I think, the only teams that are worse than them in the AL are Cleveland and Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty weak offensively. So, like, that's definitely a thing that's standing out to me. The fact that the White Sox, we're still sitting here. I mean, the White Sox are going to be entering August in first place still. They have not let off at all. I think people expected them to sort of fall back. Okay, this was kind of a flash in the pan thing, but like I just watched 4 games of them. Like the lineup is deeper than people think, and I think the pitching is the one issue that they probably are going to have to address if they want to go that route at the deadline. But like I still don't see a reason why they can't win that division. Still, why they can't survive these next 2 months. Like Cleveland just very average. Minnesota is. I can't get a read on Minnesota. Minnesota was supposed to be dreadful. They're 500. Yeah. But I don't know if I give them any chance to make the playoffs still.
Do you see how Minnesota won today?
Yes. 3-0 deficit to Kansas City. But they have the bases loaded. 2 outs. 2 strikes. Walk-off grand slam.
Yeah, by Cody Clemens. Noah Cameron, poor Noah Cameron, went 8 innings, gave up 1 hit, struck out 7. Got taken out of the game, and his bullpen couldn't get it done.
What are the Royals going to do?
Yeah. But like, who do you sell on that team though?
Right, like everyone's so young. Like you're not going to trade Bobby Witt. You're not going to trade Caglione. Like I'm sure that there's some vets on the rotation, like
Michael Wacha,
like Wacha or like Seth Lugo, guys like that. But like. Yeah, I don't know. It's just what a disaster, man. Because they got talent. It's just in that division too to be that dreadful is very surprising. And then, going into the National League here, you mentioned the Padres. They're finally surging. I think that they're just going to be one of those teams that's like they kind of survived and tread water while Machado's been really bad, while Tatis has been sort of struggling a bit. But if Tatis can get going and if Machado can find a way to turn things around, like they probably stand the best chance of any of the teams that are currently on the outside to get in.
Right.
Because like Cubs are going to make it, but I think San Diego could easily pass Arizona, and then Philadelphia right now is just totally scuffling because they're just an old team that I think is sort of peaking, or that already peaked, I should say, and now they're falling backwards.
Yeah, the Washington Nationals are only 2.5 games out of a wild card spot. That's crazy.
Rodney, they've scored 600 runs this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've scored 600 runs. I think the next highest scoring team is the Dodgers at 556. No, sorry. Pittsburgh scored 565. Then you have the Dodgers at 556, the Cubs at 546. Like 600 runs, man. I mean, they've given up 573. So, like, that's a team that is just like, we're just going to try to outslug you.
Yeah.
And I think the trade that they made with the Red Sox to get Connolly early, like, that could be a really nice move for them to help their pitching staff a bit and young controllable arm there. But they went into their surplus on offense and got a pitcher. I think I would be surprised if Washington ended up making the playoffs, but I wouldn't be totally stunned given the fact that they have 600 runs at this point in the season.
Yeah, James Wood, C.J. Abrams, Luis Garcia, all with 20-plus home runs for them already and 20-plus doubles.
I know that we apparently are all just assuming that Shohei Ohtani is going to get awarded the MVP, even though, like, this season is kind of below his standards and he hasn't pitched in a while. But if Washington makes the playoffs, like, James Woods probably needs to be talked about a bit, right? Like, the guy's been freaking incredible.
Yeah. No, he needs to be talked about. As much as we don't like it, PCA needs to be talked about.
Yeah. It's crazy how bad PCA was, and yet now his average is a borderline 300.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen a player that goes – you know what? I think the only player I could say that goes through these just insanely, like, long hot stretches followed by insanely long cold stretches is Javi Baez.
Yes.
The guy that they traded to get PCA. Like, those are the only two players that I can think of where it's like they will go 3 months where they'll be the greatest player you've ever seen, followed by 3 months where they are the most unplayable person in the lineup.
Yeah. That trade was 5 years ago today, too, by the way, where they got PCA from the Mets. So I think that trade worked out it was from the Mets, but I think that trade worked out pretty well because Chris Bryant hasn't done anything since he left Chicago. But that's kind of going around Major League Baseball and some of the things that have been happening here recently. Let's get to some trade deadline talk. It is the last show before the deadline. The deadline is Monday, I believe 3:00 Central Time. So sometime when you're eating breakfast in the morning on Monday. Let's predict. So I've got 5 names here, and we can throw other names out. And we did this a couple weeks ago. We're going to do it again, depending on what has happened over the last couple weeks. I'm going to give you a name, and we're going to predict where this player is playing Monday night's game at. Well, I mean, okay, that's not really fair because a lot of times if you're traded the morning of, you're not even playing. But where will they be playing? What roster will they be on Tuesday morning? That would probably be better, a better way of doing it. All right, first one, elephant in the room here is Tariq Skubal. I mean, they pretty much have to trade him at this point, right? I mean, I think all of these pretty much considered him gone after his start, yesterday or whatever day it was. He's gone, right?
Yeah, he's gone. Passan said as much. I think everyone just has kind of just resigned themselves to the fact that he's going to be a Dodger. And they have the prospects to do it. And Skubal, who's a free agent at the end of this year, can easily just re-up there. He was probably signed there anyway. But the Dodgers are basically giving prospects to get the early signing rights, if you will, if you want to look at it that way. I think he's going to be a Dodger by this time next week for sure. And we should But here's the thing. It's not like the Dodgers have 5 Cy Young contenders right now in their rotation. Like, Snell's given them 1 start this season.
Yeah.
Glasnow, I don't even know if Tyler Glasnow's been pitching for them. Right. Ohtani's hasn't been pitching, and it's unclear how long he's going to. Yamamoto's been good, but Emmett Sheehan, who was supposed to be a full-time member of the rotation, has been really sort of suspect this year. Roki Sasaki has been really hit and miss. So, you can make an argument that starting pitching is actually a need for them, which is totally insane to think about.
Yeah.
But we all know that all of these guys are going to be totally magically healthy by the time October rolls around, right?
Yes. Yeah. No doubt. No doubt. They will win a 3rd straight. Any chance the Cubs can get Tariq Skubal?
I think there's a chance, but you basically have to say, okay, so the Dodgers allegedly have this amazing farm system. So do the Cubs have the prospects to be able to outbid what the Dodgers would be able to offer? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. And then, I think the other option is Milwaukee. Would Milwaukee be desperate enough to throw the whole farm at them and say, we want him and we're trying to take down the Dodgers this year?
Honestly, though, they should be.
Yeah.
Because they are the one team that stands the best chance to take them down in either league.
Yeah.
You don't have many opportunities to go all out. You're not going to sign him as a free agent, but the fact that you can have him in your uniform for a couple games to pair him with Jacob Mizorowski, form the most fearsome 1-2 on top of atop a rotation anywhere in the sport. That's a really good opportunity. And also, if the Brewers get Tarek Skubal, it bodes much better for baseball as a whole in 2027 actually happening. Yeah. Because if Tarek Skubal, and not to get too in the weeds with this, but if Tarek Skubal is a Dodger, which I still expect him to be,
yeah,
you've just basically given the owners an absolute do you see what we're talking about here? Do you see why this is why we need this change? Because whatever, the Dodgers can easily absorb the remaining money on Skubal's deal, do the prospects, no problem for them. And it just is going to further widen the gap between the rich teams and the poor teams. But if a small market team like the Brewers gets him, it's okay.
Yeah.
There's a chance for unity here. So the Brewers, to save the sport, the Brewers need to make this trade, is what I'm trying to say.
There you go. They got 3 days to do so. All right, let's move the next guy. And with their surge recently, I don't think he's going to move. But the next guy on the list is Mason Miller. The Padres came out and said they didn't think they would be trading him. I know I asked you a couple weeks ago. I think you said he would stay. You think?
Yeah, I still think so.
Yeah. At 55 and 53, the Padres are right in the mix, a game and a half or so back of the Diamondbacks and Phillies. But if for some reason they decided to trade Mason Miller, where would he end up?
If he were to go,
I think that's another one the Cubs would make a push at.
I could see. I think you're close. I think you got the right city. What if the White Sox made a move? Because okay, so this I don't think he's going to get traded.
Yeah.
The Padres would have to get blown away by an offer. The White Sox do have young pieces to hypothetically blow San Diego away.
Yeah.
They would absolutely cement themselves as the best team in the AL Central if they were to get Mason Miller. The guy that's currently closing for them, Grant Taylor, was not supposed to be a closer. He was supposed to meant to be a Swiss Army knife type of guy for them. He wasn't the ninth inning guy going in, and they just sort of made him one. So you get a bona fide closer. He's signed for the next several years. He's the best reliever in the game still. And it would be a great sort of message to just the players, the fans that hey, we don't think this is a fluke either. We think that we can actually win here.
And you mentioned being the top contender in the American League Central with him. Not that far off from being the best team in the American League, right?
Well, would you? So White Sox with Mason Miller against the Rays.
Probably the Rays, but the difference right now is 7 games in the standings.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Mason Miller is obviously 7 games, but they're only 3.5 behind the Yankees. So the gap. I guess what I'm saying is Mason Miller puts them a potential ALCS team, right?
Yeah.
You're going up against basically your Yankees in the division series to get to the ALCS, and Mason Miller is going to be awfully good if they can get ahead. I don't know. Yeah, it'll be interesting. White Sox is an interesting one there. Let's move to a different guy here. This is another guy I think will find some interest out there. There'll be somebody that needs some base hits along the way. Luis Ariz, another solid season. What is he hitting right now? He's hitting 331. The guy's always hitting. The guy is absolutely always hitting. I had no idea he was up to 331.
How many hits does he have? I'm going to look it up.
135.
Let's see how many hits he has in his career, because like we talk about guys anymore now, 3,000 hits is this impossible task because people don't value just pure hitting anymore. So Luis Ariz has 3 batting titles.
Yeah.
That he's won, I believe, with 3 different teams. Yeah, Minnesota, Miami, and San Diego.
Yeah. Yeah.
And on track to win a 4th with San Francisco. So he would have 4 batting titles with 4 different teams.
That's wild.
He currently in his career, he's only at 1,100 hits then. Okay. That's not that many. He's like 1,100 hits. He's 29 years old. He's not going to get 3,000. But, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of teams that could use somebody that could get on base, right? I mean, what's the best fit for Luis Ariz?
I mean, yeah, take your pick. Like, there's so many teams that could use someone like him. My first instinct, though, was Tampa. Like, I do think the Rays are going to make a move, and I think he just fits exactly like the type of player that they want. Like, they love high contact guys. They love guys that play defense. They love guys that have multiple position like flexibility. Like, he's just like another piece that they can just Kevin Cash can use however he sees fit. So, yeah, I think he does get traded. I think he goes to the Tampa Bay Rays.
That's a good fit. He plays second base for him, right?
I mean, second or first. Who do they have first? Jonathan Aranda. So, yeah, maybe second base probably.
What about if the Philadelphia Phillies said they wanted to get a guy that could get on base in front of Turner, Harper, Schwarber?
Then they ditched Bryson Stott, who's the second baseman. He's not going to play first base, obviously, for them. He could. Well, no, he can't DH. That's where Kyle Schwarber is. So he's basically replacing Bryson Stott with Ariz, which like Ariz is a better player for sure.
What about the Texas Rangers?
Yeah, let me look up Texas here.
They could have a need at second base.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the lineups here. So yeah, Nicky Lopez is currently their starting second baseman. It's not great. They're going to get Corey Seager back, I think, tomorrow, even though we'll see how long he actually stays healthy for. I mean, yeah, you add Luis Ariz to that lineup with Seager coming back, Jake Berger, Evan Carter, Brandon Nimmo. That's not a bad fit, Rodney. I think that Texas could make some sense for sure.
I mean, because these AL teams, you got to be thinking about like all these teams that are trying to fight for a playoff spot. Like, don't get me wrong. The Rays have been good, but like, do you think other executives are like, we just can't beat the Rays in a playoff series? There's just no way. I don't think there's any team shaking in their boots about the Tampa Bay Rays. No. And then you look at the Yankees and some of their glaring issues. It's like, okay, so those are the 2 best teams. Those are the teams we have to contend with. Yeah. And that's why these American League teams, I could see them a bunch of them trying to load up.
Yeah, like – you bring up an interesting point where the National League teams are like, yeah, we're not going to compete with Milwaukee, Atlanta, LA. They're so far ahead of us.
Yeah.
But like you got a bunch of teams in the American League that are like, shit, we can win a pennant this year.
Yeah.
And they're going to call and they're going to be interested in players, and we have names, and like we can really like get a lot more for these guys than we normally would in a different season. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah. All right, let's move to a different guy. Guy you are somewhat familiar with, being you followed the Angels before. So a guy you're somewhat familiar with in a Central Illinois guy, Reed Detmers, Cardinals just faced him not too long ago. Now he's controllable. He's arbitration eligible through 28. Same with Jose Soriano. John Mozeliak, now the guy in charge over there, has already made one deal. I'm going to guess he trades one of these guys. If you had a prediction, Reed Detmers or Jose Soriano, which one's going?
I think Detmers is likelier to go. Because one, I think he's a little bit older than Soriano, although I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think so.
And also, I think you get more for Detmers than you do for Soriano.
Yeah, so I've mentioned this team several times, and we've mentioned both these teams, but Cubs and Sox might both have interest in Detmers.
Yeah, Cubs were probably my first guess there. Now, does John Mozeliak have it in his guts? He doesn't run the Cardinals anymore, Rodney. I don't know if you know that. He runs a different team now. But does John Mozeliak have the stones to make a trade with the Chicago Cubs? Did when he was running the Cardinals, did they ever make a deal with the Cubs?
I don't know as if they made a trade, no.
So do you think that he would now entertain a deal with the Cubs, or do you think it's just like old habit, like, sorry, can't do it?
I think he would make a trade with the Cubs.
You think so? You think so?
Yeah, I think he would.
That was my first instinct. But I mean, like, there's a lot of teams that could use a pitcher like Reed Detmers, and yeah, he's controllable. He's a lefty. There's a lot to like about him for sure. He was a no-hitter a few years ago.
Yeah, he did. And he's from Chatham, Illinois. So Cubs Sox might both want a local guy. But anyways, let's just move to one more, and then we can kind of have a hodgepodge of other names that we might find interesting. The other guy I'm going to mention is Freddie Peralta of the New York Mets. I mean, gosh, he's an impending free agent. Like, the Mets have to deal him, right? I mean, no reason to keep Freddie Peralta on your team. You're not going to playoffs. You might as well go get something for him. Best fit for Freddie Peralta would be,
I mean, kind of the teams that we've been talking about, like the Cubs make sense. Back to the Brewers makes sense. I've seen some people think that he might go back to the Brewers. And honestly, like, if Milwaukee can't land Skubal, which, let's be realistic, as much as I'd love it to happen, they're not going to get Tarek Skubal. So maybe like Freddie Peralta is the answer, and they can easily make that happen. And it's not going to cost them really much of anything, because I think the Mets just want to be done with it. Like, you add them, you could put the Dodgers on there. You could put, I mean, Atlanta could use a pitcher, but I don't know if the Mets would trade with Atlanta. Like, there's a lot of teams, Freddie Peralta, but I'll say he goes back to Milwaukee.
Okay,
that'll be my prediction.
Any other names you want to get to? There are a whole bunch of names I think that could be discussed. I mentioned before the show off that, like, Dustin May of the Cardinals is probably going to get traded. Yeah, Lars Nootbaar I think could get traded. But any other names that you're interested in? And what about your Yankees?
So and this kind of ties in there. So it's funny. I could see my team hooking up with my old team to make a deal. There are a couple of guys that I think make sense. Like the Yankees. So Judge, who knows when he's going to be back. Bellinger's out minimum 4 to 6 weeks now. Stanton, for whatever reason, just like can't play ever. So like the lineup is incredibly weak. So like they absolutely need to find upgrades on offense beyond just like, right-handed catcher. The Angels have a couple guys. Joe Adell's one, and Zach Neto's the other. And we were talking about a little bit earlier and say, do they make them World Series contenders or like winners? I don't think so. But like Zach Neto, if assuming that C.J. Abrams stays put, Zach Neto's probably the best overall infielder that would be traded. Yeah. I mean, the guy is pretty good, and he's young. He's controllable, and I could see the Yankees being interested in him and saying, hey, like Volpe, isn't it? We bring in Zach Neto. Maybe you can even try to get Neto and Joseph Adell or Jordan Adell. and just hope that that's enough, and then hope that your guys are healthy and by the time you get to October, and then go from there. So I can see that, but like also I think the Red Sox are going to be really interested in a guy like Zach Neto too. So it could be like the Yankees and Red Sox bidding for a guy like him.
Can I interest you in Mason Wynn?
Not really.
No. What about Ivan Herrera?
No, man, we were talking about Ivan Herrera. Like, I was stunned when I saw that because everything I know about the Yankees is that, they want a bat. They want an offensive upgrade behind the plate, but, like, they care so much about game calling, about pitch framing, just, like, all the defensive elements. They've always really prioritized that. That, like, I saw Ivan Herrera, was like, that doesn't make any sense.
No.
And it doesn't make sense as at DH either, where you have Paul Goldschmidt and Ben Rice already that, like, are basically splitting first base and DH duties. So, like, I was like, no, that's not going to happen. Okay,
what about Lars Nootbaar?
Lars, I don't mind.
Yeah.
I don't hate Lars Nootbaar, like, especially because the outfield is just so depleted right now. I don't hate that. You put him in probably left. Can he play left field?
Yeah.
Yeah, I put him in left field. You got Grisham in center. You got Dominguez in right. I mean, it's fine. It's no Bellinger or Judge, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
One more name I wanted to discuss real quick, and there was talk that the Baltimore Orioles were willing to trade Jackson Holliday.
Yeah.
So, like,
Jackson, but the problem is, okay, so here's the issue with that, though. He's been really kind of bad.
Yeah.
But he's so young.
Right.
And you're basically like, okay, this is a guy that we really thought was going to be a face of our franchise, of this long rebuild that we had. Do we want to punt on all of it now? Because if you trade Jackson Holliday, you're basically saying, yeah, the whole thing was a failure. But, like, do you not believe there's any opportunity for a young guy like him to become a good player? Because, like, look at the Cardinals, man. Like, he's basically what Jackson Holliday did his first couple of years is like what Jordan Walker was doing his first couple of years. It can turn around. So it's like, imagine if last year the Cardinals would have sold Jordan Walker away for peanuts and then he was doing this somewhere else. You'd be sick to your stomach. And I don't think Baltimore wants the same thing to happen yet. So I don't think they're going to quite give up on him.
Mason Wynn for Jackson Holliday?
I don't know if that – but, like, that doesn't really – does that improve the Orioles now or in the future?
I'm
curious. You just want to trade Mason Wynn. Like, that's what it sounds like. You just want to get rid of Mason Wynn.
I mean, I love the idea of Jackson Holliday.
Yeah. I think you just love the idea of just seeing a Holiday out there wearing a Cardinals jersey.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if Jackson Holliday could have. I mean, if you did not trade Mason Wynn, Jackson Holliday could play third. Or
yeah, that's true. All right. So how old is Jackson Holliday right now? So Jackson Holliday is 22 years old.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right.
He's 22, and we're already talking about. Give it up. So he played 60 games in 24, played 149 last year. Well, it's funny. So he's only played 57 games this year, but, like, his OPS plus is 118. I know that's kind of a nerd stat, but, like, he's hit above league average when he's played.
Yeah. So
he has improved in that regard. He only has 5 homers. But he's not striking out a ton. He's hitting 260. He's getting on base at a great rate. His on base percentage is 364. So, like, there is improvement, even if it's not like, oh, he's a mega star, he's a generational whatever. Like, he's shown improvement. He's 22.
Yeah, I don't think they'll trade him. But when I saw there was talk about they would be interested in possibly trading him,
I thought you were going to say Adley Rutschman, which I saw that too. Like, the Yankees checked in on Rutschman, and I could see Adley Rutschman being a guy because they have another catcher who's young who could step in there, and Rutschman's let's see, how old is he now? So he's only 24. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, Baltimore was
28. Sorry,
yeah.
Sorry, he debuted at 24. He's 28. Yeah, this is his 5th year in the majors. He's kind of, like, progressively gone downhill, and now he's kind of just like a little above, like slightly above average. Much worse than where he started. His best season was his rookie season.
Yeah, Baltimore would be interesting to see what they do. But when I saw the Jackson Holiday, I was like, "Ooh, that's interesting." All right, let's move on from baseball real quick. I got a couple more things I want to get to. Since the last show, LeBron signed. It's been a while, but it's been a week or so. But Philadelphia, originally where I thought he was going to go, and then I backed out of Philadelphia and kind of got interested late again. Philadelphia. I mean, at this point, like everybody's talked about it, but your final thoughts on the LeBron to Philly.
I could see this going of such a variety of ways. I think everyone's just kind of assuming that they're going to be like the top team in the East or like maybe the second best team. So he's going to play point guard. He's going to play point guard for them. They've said like he's going to be their point guard.
Yeah.
So you have him at the 1. You have Maxey at the 2. I don't know if Edgecombe is actually going to start for them now. And it might make sense to have someone who like spaces the floor a little bit more, who doesn't need the ball as much as his hands. Like throw Dean Wade in there, and then you have Jaylen Brown and Joel Embiid. What's interesting though is like they now have a team where Joel Embiid can literally like decide whenever he wants to play.
Right.
I truly don't know. All right, let's do this, Rodney. Over under of games that Jaylen Brown, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, and LeBron James are all going to be on the court together for the regular season. What would you set that number at? I was going to say like 10.5.
Oh man, I was going to say like 30.
You think 30?
Yeah.
Like, how many games do you think Joel Embiid plays, period?
He'll be motivated a little bit more this year. I'll say 50.
You think 50? Yeah, I think he's going to play like 30-something games.
Just sit.
Just like why does he need to rest? To go out there and play a bunch? I don't know.
Yeah. All that money to play 30 games. You got to love it.
Yeah. But I'll say like it definitely is the most interesting basketball fit. Like it's more interesting than like Miami. It's more interesting than him going to Cleveland. It's more interesting than the Golden State. Like this purely in terms of like basketball fit and just the team chemistry and just like how everything's going to fall into place. Like I think Philadelphia is easily the best place for that to happen. If you had to say right now, today, you put their roster up against the Knicks, 7-game series. The Knicks swept them pretty convincingly the last time they played. Obviously, Philly's added a couple important guys since then. How would that series play out today?
Yeah, that's a good series. That's a good series. It sounds like the Knicks declined on LeBron too, if that rumor is true.
I'm 100% convinced if the Knicks did not win the NBA Finals, LeBron James would be in New York playing for the Knicks.
Yeah, I agree. That's where he wanted
on like the same deal basically that he signed with Philadelphia.
I think that's where he wanted to go.
Yeah, and like that's where he's gonna live there. Shit, he's gonna live in New York. He's gonna take a chopper to Philly.
I heard that.
Like, yeah. So I think that was the goal here. But no, it's gonna be fascinating. Like you look at the whole Eastern Conference, man. Look at how deep it is. There are probably 10 teams, not necessarily that I'd say are title contenders, but like 10 teams where I look, I'm like, oh, that's a good team. Like that's going to be a tough team to face. Even the play-in teams where it's going to be Orlando and Atlanta and Charlotte, like Indiana, maybe, like it's like, yeah, I don't want to play those teams. Like they're going to be tough. They're going to be scrappy. There's like 3 teams in that entire conference where I'm like, oh yeah, they suck. But everyone else, I'm like, oh, that's going to be tougher than people expect.
Poor Buzz. They have one of their best rosters they've had in years, and they're going to be like 9th in the East.
Is this one of their best rosters when they traded LaMelo and Miles Bridges?
No, probably not. I don't know why. Yeah, I'm not sure what they decided to do.
Yeah.
What is going on?
You're really high on Dorian Finney-Smith. I know it.
DFS. Yeah.
Roy,
I'm not sure what their intentions are.
Royce O'Neal.
Yeah.
Grayson Allen. No, but like, not to get Hornets talk again, but like we talked about, like they sold high on LaMelo. He's had one really healthy season for them. It was this last season. They sold high on it. They're stacking a bunch of picks. They can make a move to try to get someone down the line, kind of similar to what OKC was doing, just like hoarding a bunch of picks. And like they still have a good young core in place. Like obviously Brandon Miller and Connor, really, really good players.
Yeah. All right, let's move to NFL real quick. We talked briefly at the beginning. We kind of flirted some things here. Cool stories we should know about NFL training camp. Anything that's stuck out to you so far? Cardinals and Panthers in a week. Odell and Neighbors are running side by side.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase got in a fight with his defense. But what has got your attention so far?
I saw a video yesterday of Patrick Mahomes in practice, and you saw it too.
Yeah.
He's favoring the knee a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is just like, oh, it's early on, because, the Chiefs don't play their first game for another 45 days or so. So he's got time to sort of get back into it, 6.5 weeks or so. But I'm like, are we just assuming? I've kind of just been assuming that he's going to be healthy and ready to go week 1. But like, if he's not, they're cooked.
They're cooked. Yeah, bad.
Yeah, especially because like I'm going to tell you this right now. I think when we do our season predictions, I'm going to be insanely high on the Chargers. Like I think I'm going to be like the way that you were a few years ago, where for whatever reason you would just pick the Chargers over and over again. I think that's going to be me this year.
Okay. And by the way, I still have not got my Bet Us book. I don't know. At some point, we'll hit a breaking point here, and I'm going to have to do something different. I have not bought the magazine yet.
Yeah.
I think I said August 1st. I might have to hit up a store. So I'll keep an eye on that. But, yeah, I mean, training camp, those are the few things, the things we see in the national media.
Yeah, and like quarterback battles. So I think like the Falcons are a team that I was reading about, and like Atlanta has Tua and Penix that are hurt. So like Tua, it's more of like a nagging minor injury right now, but like Penix is recovering from his surgery, and like I have no idea what that team is going to do at quarterback.
Minnesota.
Minnesota doesn't have the health issue; they have the skill issue.
Yeah.
I would be stunned if Kyler Murray's not the starting quarterback, right? Like
you would think, yeah. I was telling you, was it before the show or but the DJ Moore is hyped up with Josh Allen?
Yeah.
Like, really? Like, are we really going to hype up DJ Moore?
I mean,
remember when he died on the field?
DJ Moore, yeah, that was scary. We saw his lifeless corpse laying there on the field, only for him to return 2 plays later.
Yeah,
heroically.
Anyways, that's the end of we real quick of NFL. We haven't obviously gone full blown NFL yet, but Tuesday's show we'll be able to break down the Hall of Fame game. I mean, I cannot wait for that. Big Ten Media Day went on, all the SEC Media Day, so college football is right around the corner as well. August 1st is Saturday, so that's the month that college football starts. We'll be here before you know it. All right, I'm going to move to our best bets for betting, and I'm going to make an announcement. We are not doing a best bets for betting this week. We're taking a break, but we will get back next Thursday. It is our best bets for betting segment, and neither one of us have been doing. I mean, you're better than I am. You've done better than me. You are
not lately. Not lately.
Let's break down last week. All right, so we don't have the checks and the X's. Here we go. Brewer. See. Here you go. Brewers minus 230 should actually be 2.3 units of a loss here. I took the Brewers, and they lost to the Rockies that night. Ouch. Tigers minus 270. They beat the Royals. The Pirates lost to the Cubs in the first game of that series. The Rays beat the Guardians. And the Giants beat the Angels, which means I went 3-2. And if I go 3-2, I am patting myself on the back because I have not done well. As you can see, I am 98 and 112, 14 games under 500.
Yeah.
But you, on the other hand.
Yeah. Back-to-back 1-4 weeks for me, which is not ideal. I do need to say, and I'm going to take my L, but I will say, when I took the Phillies over the Yankees, my MLB app told me that Will Warren was going to be the starting pitcher.
True.
However, he was not the starting pitcher. Instead, it was Cam Schlittler, the Cy Young frontrunner, who pitched an absolute gem, went like 8 scoreless innings, and the Yankees won that game 1-0.
Yeah.
So had I known Schlittler would be the one pitching, I might have probably gone in a different direction, but I'll take my L, whatever. Cubs did beat the Pirates. I think that game went extra innings, but they were able to win as a road dog. The Marlins, I was like, they got to win eventually, right? They didn't. They lost 4-2. Blue Jays, I was like, hey, the Red Sox, man, they finally experienced defeat. It's going to be a snowball effect now, right? Didn't happen. Red Sox won 6-4. Nationals, hey, man, it's the best offensive team in baseball. Surely they can pull an upset against the Diamondbacks, right? Did not happen. They lost 3-2. So, yeah, tough week. That brings me now to 104 and 106. Losing record. So we're both losers. Rodney slightly more, but I've had an opportunity the last couple of weeks to really just sort of distance myself, and I'm failing. So I'm taking the week off. Mental health reset is what we're branding it as, and we're gonna get back at it next week.
Yeah, take the week off. You study, get ready for the next week. Yeah. No NFL after Thursday, no Saturday. It'll be the next week we could get it. We can do a preseason NFL.
I love that, like the Hall of Fame game. It's like it is such a big deal. It is going to be the only game the entire week. We just need a whole week to just sort of digest it. This Panthers Cardinals. It's all that we're going to focus on.
All right, let's remember somebody tonight. At the end of every show, we remember somebody that is not really Hall of Fame worthy, but most of the time kind of a Hall of Very Good, or even just Hall of Good. I would call this guy a Hall of Very Good. It's LaMarcus Aldridge. Do you remember LaMarcus Aldridge, Tim? I know you do, but do you remember LaMarcus Aldridge well?
I think LaMarcus Aldridge belongs in the Hall of Great.
Great, yeah. Okay, I like that one.
Yes,
LaMarcus Aldridge played his college basketball from 2004 to 2006 at the University of Texas, Hook'em Horns. He was drafted by the Chicago Bulls. Let's go ahead and just do the draft now. Let's do the draft.
Yeah, I like. We might as well. We always do it. Yeah, so 2006, right?
I agree. Yep, 2006 NBA draft.
All right. That was Andre Bargnani, right?
He was the number 1 pick in the draft, followed by LaMarcus Aldridge at 2. Yep. Number 3 in the draft was...
What's the team?
Charlotte Bobcats.
Oh, God. Okay. That would have been Adam Morrison.
It was Adam Morrison. Number 4 was Portland, and they traded it to Chicago.
Oh, okay. So they traded it to Chicago. So was that Tyrus Thomas?
Tyrus Thomas.
All right.
Number 5 was the Atlanta Hawks.
Oh, man. Good player or kind of shitty?
Kind of shitty player. Played at Duke, though.
Shitty player. Played at Duke. Oh, I don't know. It's escaping me.
Sheldon Williams.
Oh, yeah. I remember Sheldon Williams at Duke. He was a good player at Duke. Yeah, not a good NBA player, though.
But not in the NBA. We could go to 6, Minnesota Timberwolves. Traded it to Portland. I think you should get this one.
That would be Brandon Roy.
It would be Brandon Roy. I don't think you'll get 7. Boston Celtics traded to Minnesota via Portland.
No, that I think was that Randy Foye?
It was, yep.
I remember because I was like Brandon Roy, Randy Foye right next to each other.
Number 8, I think you'll get Houston Rockets traded to Memphis. This UConn small forward named
Memphis, UConn. I'm blanking.
That would be Rudy Gay.
Oh, God, of course.
So number 9 is near and dear to your heart. Big boy went to Golden State.
Near what? All right, hold on.
Hold on. Let's redo this again. Number 9 overall.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Patrick O'Brien.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then number 10 was Mohamed Sene. Went to the Seattle Supersonics. Going down the list, JJ Redick was 11. This was not a very good draft. This was not a real Rajon Rondo 21, Kyle Lowry 24. Not PJ Tucker 35. Not great. Not a great draft.
Yeah.
James Augustine from Illinois went to the Orlando Magic.
Yeah. Kyle Lowry, did you mention him?
Yeah. Kyle Lowry later in the first round. Yeah. I mean, he's
I think Jordan Farmar went in this draft too.
Yeah, Jordan Farmar's there.
I remember watching Jordan Farmar at UCLA. Did it with the Lakers.
Yeah.
Oh, how about this? How about PJ Tucker?
PJ Tucker.
Second round.
Yeah. But back to LaMarcus Aldridge real quick. 7-time NBA All-Star. Played for 3 teams. Portland, San Antonio, finished his career in Brooklyn. 20,000 points, almost 9,000 rebounds, nearly 2,100 assists. LaMarcus Aldridge put up pretty good numbers. If you look at his scoring numbers, he was between 21. He scored 21 or more on average 5 straight seasons. He didn't for 2, but then he went 2 more with scored 21. He finished his career at 19.1 points per game. He played in 72 playoff games and scored 20.8 points a game. He could score.
He could score. Yeah, he could score. He had a couple years of like double-digit rebounds, but he wasn't like crazy rebound guy overall because he was more sort of, I don't know, like he was close to 7 feet, but I'd never really considered him a center. I always kind of considered him more of like a bigger power forward.
Yeah.
But yeah, like definitely just a great offensive player, multiple-time All-Star. Did have like some depoy love one of his years in San Antonio. So like it's not like he was a wet napkin on defense. No, just a really like solid overall player who just did everything well.
Yeah.
And who had a long career, who didn't really have like, the terrible injuries. Once he got older, then he was playing less and less. But like for the large part, man, he played a lot in Portland. He got to San Antonio, signed his big contract. He played a lot for San Antonio for a team that was like kind of transitioning out of Kawhi and going through that drama and having to navigate through that. So yeah, he's had a really good career.
Yeah, just shy of 1,100 career NBA games. Started just shy of 1,000 of them. So yes, very, very nice career. Like I said, 72 playoff games. 2 years of college score. He actually didn't score a ton in college, only 13.5 points per game with Texas. He scored more once he got to the NBA, but I do remember his time at Texas. He could plplay.
I forgot the initial reason that he had retired. It was like because he had some heart issues.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And this was like going back earlier. So like 2007. So pretty early in his NBA career, was diagnosed with Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome, which is a heart ailment. Missed the rest of the year in order to monitor the problem, correct it. A few years later, underwent another surgery to correct complications associated with the heart condition. And then in 2021, he signed with the Nets. 2 weeks later, he retired due to the irregular heartbeat, but then returned to the Nets the following season once he got medically cleared.
Yeah.
So I forgot that he about those heart issues that he was dealing with.
Yeah, still just 41 years old. Did we talk? What did the Bulls do with him? Why did they draft him?
Yeah, so drafted 2nd overall by the Bulls, only to have his rights traded to Portland for their pick, Tyrese Thomas and Victor Kripa. Shortly after, the Bulls acquired the pick from the Knicks. So I think the Bulls just traded him because they got Tyrese Thomas and then I don't know who Victor Cryapa is.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I can tell you he did play for the Bulls in one season. One season?
Yeah. I mean, Bulls
two seasons. Yeah, he played 42 total games for the Bulls.
I mean, the Bulls probably could have used him.
Yeah. If you look at the Bulls, like they're like 1999 through 2007, their draft decisions are pretty awful.
Really bad.
All across the board. And then they just lucked into Derrick Rose and it all got better.
Yeah.
Until it didn't.
And now they have Caleb Wilson.
Yeah. Caleb Wilson, who Bill Simmons loves.
I saw it. Yeah.
Loves
that. Yeah.
An uncomfortable amount, like the same way that, we love our wives. That's how Bill Simmons feels about Caleb Wilson.
Yeah, a little creepy. Anyways, all right, that should do it for tonight's show. Should be back Tuesday. You in town Tuesday? You good? You good for Tuesday?
My town. I'm in my town on Tuesday. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. So yeah, we should be back. We should be back on Tuesday, first show of August. We'll break down the MLB trade deadline happenings. We will get you ready for the Hall of Fame game, and we can start talking a little more football. It'll be a football-oriented show, although you're planning it. So however you want to plan it.
It will be a football-oriented show. We'll recap the baseball stuff, but then I'll have some football things planned. It's August, like it's going to be August. We need to start transitioning to gridiron mode. Enough of this, so the Marlins are in the race. No, we're done. We're done with it. No more.
Follow us on Twitter, not X, at Stupid Sports Show, no W on the end, and make sure you get signed up for my Substack. Still ahead on the year, just barely ahead on the month, although it's up there, by the way. Although we do not want to follow this one right here, 98 and 112. Definitely go to the Substack up there in the corner. Sign up for that. Get picks in your inbox every single day. And that should about do it.
All right, let's get out of here. Great show, Rodney. Thank you for planning it. You did an exceptional job. We'll be back Tuesday, 9 p.m. Central to talk whole lot more about baseball, talk about football, we're gonna do an in-depth preview of this Hall of Fame game. I feel it.
Love it
Juicy.
I'm ready.
All right, we'll talk to you Tuesday. Have a good weekend. He's Rodney. I'm Tim, the Dunking Dutchman Van Stratton, and this has been another edition of the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth. See you guys.
See ya.
Step right up, dummies, and listen to the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth with Rodney Newbold and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah.